The summer sun beat down. Max, Lily, and Sam were bored.
Let's do something.
Max groaned. They were tired of playing the same old games. Lily had an idea.
We could explore Oakwood Manor.
Oakwood Manor was an old, abandoned house on the edge of town. It had been empty for years. Legends said it was haunted. Sam shivered. He wasn't sure about this. Max, however, was excited.
Let's go!
The friends approached the manor. It was huge and spooky. Vines covered its stone walls. The windows were dark like empty eyes. Taking a deep breath, Max pushed open the creaking front door. The air inside was cold and dusty. Cobwebs hung from the high ceilings. A musty smell filled the air.
Hello?
Lily called out, her voice echoing in the silence. There was no answer. Oakwood Manor was ready for exploring. The friends walked through the manor's dusty rooms. They found old furniture covered in sheets. They found portraits of stern-looking people on the walls.
This place is creepy.
Sam whispered. Lily nodded. She felt a shiver down her spine. In the largest room, they found a fireplace. Above it hung a dusty old portrait of a man in a fancy coat. Max pointed at it.
Look, there's something written on the frame.
They wiped away the dust. The inscription read, "The sun's third hour reveals the way." Lily thought for a moment.
The sun's third hour. That must mean 3 o'clock.
Sam checked his watch.
It's 2:50 now. We have 10 minutes.
They frantically searched the room. Just as the clock struck 3, Max cried out.
Here, behind the portrait.
He pushed the portrait aside. Behind it was a small hidden door. The door creaked open, revealing a dark passageway.
Whoa, a secret passage.
Max grabbed a rusty lantern from the fireplace and lit it. The flame flickered, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The passage was narrow and dusty. Cobwebs brushed against their faces as they walked.
Where do you think it leads? I don't know, but I bet it's somewhere exciting.
They followed the passage for what seemed like hours. Finally, they reached a wooden door at the end. Max pushed it open. Bright sunlight streamed through. They stepped out of the passage and into a garden. The garden was beautiful. Flowers of every color bloomed in neat rows. A fountain sparkled in the center. But something wasn't right.
This garden is inside the manor. How is that possible?
Section 4, The Mysterious Note. The friends explored the indoor garden. It was like a secret oasis hidden within the manor's walls. Butterflies fluttered among the flowers. Birds sang in the trees. It was peaceful and serene. Sam noticed something lying on a stone bench.
Look.
It was a small, folded piece of paper. Lily picked it up and read it aloud.
Seek the heart of the manor, where music once filled the air. There you will find the next clue, hidden in plain sight, I swear.
The heart of the manor. What does that mean?
Lily thought for a moment.
Maybe it means the music room. Come on, let's go.
They rushed back into the passage, eager to solve the next part of the mystery. Section 5, The Missing Jewel. The friends found the music room easily. It was a grand room with a high ceiling. A grand piano sat in the corner, its keys covered in dust. Sheet music lay scattered on the floor.
The clue said to look for something hidden in plain sight.
They searched the room carefully. They looked under the piano, behind the curtains, and even inside the old gramophone. But they couldn't find anything.
I don't see anything. Maybe the clue was wrong.
Just then, Max noticed something. There was a small, empty space on the piano's music stand. It was shaped like a teardrop.
Hey, look. I bet there was a jewel here and it's missing.
The friends examined the music stand closely. There were faint scratch marks around the empty space.
Someone must have pried the jewel out, but who and why?
They needed to find more clues. Section 6, The Treasure of Vergne. Suddenly, they heard a noise. It was coming from the secret passage. Someone was in there. The friends hid behind the door just as a dark figure entered the room. The figure was tall and wore a hooded cloak. They couldn't see the person's face. The figure went straight to the music stand and examined the empty space. They muttered something under their breath. Then they turned and walked back into the secret passage.
Who was that?
I don't know, but I think they're looking for the same thing we are.
Max had an idea.
Let's follow them. Maybe they know where the treasure is.
Carefully, they crept into the secret passage. The hooded figure was just ahead of them. The chase was on! The mystery of Oakwood Manor was about to be solved.